Hi Sagittarius, welcome to New Era. My name is Emma. Sagittarius, this is your love reading starting today on the 1st of December 2020. That is crazy. And I'm starting with this mystical wisdom deck to see, just get an overall picture of where you are, where you're at in your love story. And then I'm going to go over to the usual decks to see deeper what's going on. So, Sagittarius. Overall love story. Self-reliance, don't be afraid to fly solo. So and this could be a connection with Virgo as well and with Scorpio. This is the overall energy for it. So I love the magnolias that are coming up there. And if you haven't heard me talk before about these magnolias that have been just following me around in these readings, it's about like they now represent so much like the ancient energy, the very beginning, like the alpha omega, very early beginning, maybe not alpha omega like the very, very early beginning, but like in terms of flowers and animals starting to walk on this earth. And so apparently the magnolias have coexisted with the dinosaurs over 20 million years ago. And there's something with the origin here as well. I'm very drawn to this star constellation that is going on there in the back. So there's very much like ancestry, origin, very, very back to basic, like back to where it all started. So it can, let's see where this takes us, because it's like, and why do you do this to me? So today, these little guys, this and this and this and this and this, looks like sperm to me. I'm being drawn there, and I promise myself never to hinder any. Well, it's if it's too out there, if it's too like it would turn me red, I wouldn't say it. But I will never hold any information back. So that's the origin. Very interesting. So let's see what love story. Just about the magnolias there. They're very magician-like. They stand the test of time. They survive it all. They're very much like where miracles happen. Very magician-like, very magical. So let's see, Sagittarius. Wow, you get 4 cards. You usually get only 2 to start with. So you get this. So the first card out is challenging times, but it's coming out with daydreams and decisions. So there seems to be something that you need to, we have already 2 number 5 on the table, but that 5 comes out with another card. It's really beautiful where you headed. So let's start with this 5. This 5 is all about challenging times. There's something you feel a bit guarded about with this shield that you have up. But it's so interesting because today the shield is, do you see this big, like this big circle behind you? So it's like the circle behind you reflects the shield or the guard. It's something like, it tells me that there's like information coming through from the back, and it's like it's holding you. I don't know how to describe this. Okay, it might sound like the most cryptic message I've ever given. I'm gonna try to describe the energy that I'm sensing here. So it feels like there's a field, like an force field, source field, like it's coming in behind you, like we see here. This big circle behind you so protective in nature. Like it's so it has your back. It really provides for you. It really is there to guide you and hold you and protect you. And then there's this shieldedness from the front. It's like Sagittarius, if you only knew how well taken care of you are, if you only knew how much support, how much guidance, how much ancestry, there's so much backing you up. This is your love story, but I mean, it's leaning more towards, let's see what comes out here, but it's like whatever is going on in your life, the support is there, the backing up is there, the whatever you need to fix this, to make this work, to whatever, it's yours to have. It's there, the resources is there. And so there's like and as I talk, I just realized you have like a little hand, just it's just holding the shield a bit. It's like it's just holding it up a bit. Like it's not that or anything, but you're holding the shield up, and it's sort of it's sort of a bit, it's almost cute. It's like you go, do I need to protect myself here? Is it safe? I'm gonna have this protection up here just in case. And it's like you have no clue what's going on behind you. Like with this force field, it's like the whole freaking grid around the earth. Like, can we take a break today from Earth? Why? Is this person, is this guy, it's not gender specific, it can be a girl as well. Is this person, we need to go in there today because they have no clue what's going on with them. Like they have no idea how protected, guarded, guided, supported they are. Can we just, give the earth a break there for a bit and just tend to this person? Okay. And this is with number 5. Like you're overcoming something. You're understanding something now. It's not the 5 in its most trying times. It's like you're trying to understand something. You're trying to figure something out. You're not too sure if you need to protect yourself from it. I would say you don't have a clue how supported you are. And it's not like you're stupid. It's not like you're not aware. Sagittarius, you're one of the most brilliant people. The readings I do for you, and the last reading from, haven't you checked that out yet? Go check it out if you want to. The full moon reading that now stretches from the 30th of November till the 30th of December. The Sagittarius reading there was like 369 Tesla stuff. It's like you're one of the most brilliant species out there. Because you're a species all on your own. This is very interesting. So we're going to go deeper and find out what the heck this is. And with this card comes daydreams and decisions. So with this, you're very much in your head. You're trying to make up your mind or make a choice. And this thing that you're making a choice about, I don't see this manifested yet, because we have do you see how etheric this is? It's like it's daydreams and decisions. It's daydreams about, like, it's thinking about it, it's having visions about it, it's daydreaming about it. It's not here yet. So this thing that you're thinking about, that you're daydreaming about, I don't know if it's something that, it doesn't feel like it's something that you want to it doesn't feel like it's something you want, because if you want it, why do you want to shield yourself? Like, why do you want to protect yourself from it? Unless it's like something so beautiful. It's something so, I wouldn't compare it to, since it's a love reading, I would compare it to, you meet somebody and the amount of love that is just coming, excuse me, it made me lose my voice. The amount of love that is coming towards you is so overpowering, it's so overwhelming that it scares you. That's why you might want to shield yourself. If you know what this is about, then put that in the category of what's going on in your life. But this is a thing, you haven't decided on it yet. There's no decision made here. You're daydreaming about it, and this is just my personal, this is not being given to me, this is my personal advice, and maybe my personal advice has nothing to do with anything, but take it if you want to. If you're going to daydream about something that is going to happen, you might as well daydream about something that you want. I'm just saying, that was very wise by me. And then, do you know what? There's two other cards here, but they feel different. They feel like a different story. So I'm just going to straight away go and clarify these two first. These two little, whatever this is. Can we clarify this? Daydreams or number 5 there first. Yeah. It's like, very interesting. So we have this first 9 of Winter. So 9 is all about endings. It's all about endings. There's a lot of things coming through with this one, and I'm going to read out what it says on the bottom as well. But first I want to say, I'm so drawn to talk about an imaginary friend. So I don't know, when you were young, like when you were, not that I'm judging, you can be 45, 55, 65, I don't care. You can still have an imaginary friend. There's something about an imaginary friend, or if you just watched something where somebody has an imaginary friend, or if you have just talked to somebody about this imaginary friend, maybe some of your kids, if you have kids, talk about this. I do not know what this is. It feels like it's a little side note, and it's for some of you out there, and then pay extra attention to this reading today. So I'm going to read on the bottom. It says, unfounded, grundad in Swedish, unfounded fear, focusing on worst case scenarios, allowing worry to grow out of proportion to the problem. So yeah, it definitely clarifies. It just makes this a little bit clearer. It doesn't really say what it's about, but it's making this just a tiny bit clearer, just even more so that this thing that you're afraid of, you actually don't have to be afraid of it. You don't, it's unfounded fear, it's unfounded worry. The very worry that you have, it's just in your mind, is just in your mind. And nothing bad is going to happen. So the sooner you can release that, the better. And then I see these two beautiful doves there on the floor. There we have a dove, and there we have a dove looking at each other. And it's like one is trying to get the other one to listen. Like one is they're like, one is a bit more at peace, and the other one is like flailing about a bit, like trying to get the other one to listen. So if this is something in your somebody wants your attention, you want somebody's attention to tell them something, like if you want to talk about this unfounded fear, you want to share it with somebody, we have an ending to this. This is going to end very soon for you. Like you're going to find clarity around this. Because the next card together with this is a committed relationship. It's Four of Spring. It's the most beautiful card. It's like, okay, one way of looking at it, it looks like it's pitch black. It's like it's pitch dark. And another way of looking at it is that we're daydreaming, and you can actually choose what it is that you want to think about. And so this other card is Four of Spring, and four is all about the heart. It's a heart matter, and it's about laying a new foundation, creating this new foundation for yourself. There's even a castle in the back there. It says Summer's Meadow. It's like so beautiful with the gardens and I love these summer flowers. It's spring though, but to me it's like a summer meadow. And on the bottom it says, be grateful, you have much to celebrate. Deep feelings of peace and happiness. A contented personal life. So this is just talking about how extremely happy, like whatever you have right in front of you, it looks like a committed relationship right in front of your eyes. And if you're single, this is what you have to look forward to. There's a beautiful person entering your life where you can really find that great happiness and peace. I mean, okay, I need another clarifier for all of this, just combined. Another clarifier, please. So interesting. I don't know if it's the relationship itself that scares you. Are you in too deep? Is it taking it too far? Is it like you really can... And I see two stars there, two stars in the heavens. Like this is you and your person. It's two stars. It's two of the same, exactly the same. It can be twin. When I said this in another reading, I was like, there's a twin here. There's something with twins. I said it could be a Gemini connection here somehow, some way. But then I got like 100 comments, not really, but maybe 10 or 15 comments about saying twin flame, ? And the thing is, I rarely talk about twin flames. And so my guides know that I don't talk twin flame language. I talk divine counterpart language. Because I think that just like I never say God, I say source or the universe, because I think God is so associated with religion, and this is anything but religious messages, it's spiritual messages, so that it fits every person's religion, if that makes sense. And also with twin flame, a twin flame word is so associated with hardship and people being mean to each other, and that it has to be a journey that is so freaking abusive and hard. When divine counterpart, that's your journey. Like there's nothing ingrained in that expression. So that's why there was twins everywhere. And maybe sometimes when I say certain things, that is a confirmation for you. Like trust whatever comes to you. Sometimes I will say certain things, and I think it's fine for me to say this because she posted it in an open comment, so that couldn't be anything wrong with it. So I was, and I do this all the time. I say little things that just comes to me, and I do this all the time. And it was this beautiful person in Leo. She has recommended me to watch this beautiful series on Netflix. Go check it out if you want to. It's absolutely gorgeous. Voices of Fire. And the person there who's in our community here, her name is Maria. She's in this thing on Netflix that Pharrell, you know who Pharrell is producing, and really was coming up with the idea about it. And so I was checking that out, and long story short, I watched it and then we reconnected. And we reconnected first after that I did a second reading. And in that second reading, I was getting something about like Star Trek. Like all of a sudden Star Trek shows up here. And she then comments back to say, do you know that is Pharrell's production company's name? I was like, what? That's crazy. And it's actually not Star Trek, Trek. It's actually Star Trak. It's like a star track, like we're finding stars. And now when I think about it, it's two stars here as well. So I say Star Trek. I have no idea where that's going to land. I say twins. I say twins over and over again. I have no idea what that's going to mean to somebody. Take that responsibility on for yourself and use those words. If I say twin and you immediately go twin flame, and that's the language that you use, or I say something else, or I show you something, and I show you this card and you pick up something in this card that I don't mention, use it. Like, listen to your intuition about the stuff that I'm saying here. So this must be significant, or I wouldn't be telling you guys this. So there is something about twin. Can it be a twin flame? Yes, it can be a twin flame. I would say divine counterpart. I would also say you could have a Gemini influence. So you could have Gemini in your chart. I also see an angel here. A beautiful angel coming through next to those stars. It can also be like, because we had that ancestry feeling here with the sperms. With the star constellation in the back there. So the stars, I talked about the star constellation here. And then the stars coming through again here. So I think it's very divinely guided. Like, it's very origin. It's very back in the day. And meaning back in the days even before you're born. Ancestry feeling, like you're very watched over. This is what's being delivered to you, given to you. It's like, look up. It's like, take up your eyes a bit and look at what's right in front of you. It's so beautiful what's right in front of you, and a matter of fact, it's so beautiful what's right behind you. You're covered in all angles, and it's like you wonder if you need to shield yourself. Do you need to have this shield up? And you're worrying about something. You are a bit worried about something that has no foundation, that you do not have to worry about. Oh, I picked up that card. Maybe that means something. An indecision. You have an indecision. You don't know really what to choose here. Right. Beautiful, beautiful relationship right in front of you. Moving on to these two other cards that also fell out in the very beginning. So we have another 5 here in the 6, 5 and 6. So this is a beautiful process. So first we have the 5 there with teach, completely dressed in purple. And then we have the number 6 there with third eye chakra. And if I remember it correctly, you actually got the third eye chakra even in the full moon reading. So this is so much about, like, I love how the dog is right next to me. The dog speaks about loyalty, friendship, trustworthiness, faith, unconditional love. Have you ever seen a grumpy dog? If you leave the house for 5 minutes, they're equally happy when you get home. If you leave the house for 5 hours or 5 weeks, they're going to be so excited to see you. There's never like, where the hell have you been? Sometimes it can be a bit like, why did you leave me here? But, and you can also have a dog. This might be a dog that you literally have, or some sort of pet. This is teach. So you could be, you could literally be a teacher. You could literally be teaching about your spiritual path. You don't have to actually be in a school. You have an audience here, but the audience can be family members. An audience can be your friends. It's like whatever you learned in your life, you reach a point where you can be in the leader position. Like, you gathered so much information around a certain area, or just life in general. You have a lot of information to share with other people. And it looks like you gladly are sharing it. Like, you want to share with your wisdom if somebody asks. I don't feel, Sagittarius, that you're going to sort of jump on somebody to tell your vision or your story. But if they ask, you really have a lot to tell. And then this third eye, opening up to your intuition, to really start to trust yourself. Maybe that was why I went on about trusting yourself, like trusting that inner intuition and really trust what's coming forward for you. Number 6 is a connection in with your inner being, with your higher self. So it speaks about love, and it speaks about all the beautiful stuff that you can attract when you're in connection with your inner being. when you feel like you're in balance with yourself. So if there's too much going on the outside, withdraw a bit and just go on the inside and meditate, or go out in the woods, or listen to music, whatever you do. Whatever you do that brings you peace, where you feel the most peaceful and the most calm, go do that. And we need clarifiers for this, because it's like, it is a love reading, because we're talking about how you have a person in front of you that you don't quite see. You probably see it, but it's like the worry takes over a bit. Instead of enjoying, like you can choose to worry about something that doesn't exist, or you can really cherish a beautiful relationship that's right in front of your eyes. And if somebody now says, I don't even have a relationship, well, it's still right in front of your eyes, because you can choose to focus on being worried about something that isn't there, or you can choose to focus on something extraordinary that still isn't there. And you're going to attract both of them, and you get to choose which one you want to attract. I would go for the latter, if that's not obvious. I'm sorry, I'm sounding a bit harsh today. It's just it's like you need a little wake-up call to like understand what you have right in front of you, and to get out of your own head. Sagittarius, I think you're overwhelmed. I think you have a little too much on your plate right now, and it doesn't I don't know if it's like physically that you have too much on your plate. 10 of Autumn, like, do you see how busy this card is? It's very, very busy. There's things happening all around. At the same time, we have all those stars there again. The stars are talking about wish fulfillments, how you really are getting what you want. And it can be an Aquarius influence here as well. 10 is all about a completion. We're wrapping this up. We've come to an end of all this overwhelming stuff. And you will eventually find like a bit more peace and calm. Here we have a snail. And the snail, for me, due to this book that I get, Solöga in Swedish, she has this like animals translations, which is so beautiful. And so this almost has become my second language when it comes to animals and what animal I run into. And the snail comes out to say, it says something like, if you run into a snail, do what the snail does, or think what the snail thinks. What problem? What problem? There's no problem. Have you seen a problem? I don't even know what a problem is. And then they just slowly, that's a snail. Then they slowly just continue to crawl away and do their little pace. The bottom it says, take steps to ensure financial security of your children or other loved ones. Making wise investments or planning for retirement, honoring family traditions. It's very much about wanting to honor your family in your home and feel secure. I think you're almost preparing for something that's not going to happen. You feel a bit out of sorts. Maybe a bit financially out of sorts, a bit like you're... So whether you're a woman or a man, you have the feeling you're supposed to be the provider of this family. So if you're a woman, you're the only one that has a job. You're feeling that you need to be the provider of this family. Or if you're a man, it comes more naturally for a man to feel that still. It's a bit old way of looking at it, if you ask me. But like the man is like, I need to provide for this family. And there's a bit of an overload. Like, are you gonna be able to provide? It's a bit of an overload in your head. It's a bit much. This thing, though, it seems to open you up. It seems to prepare you for the next level. This much overwhelming, eventually it can make you have to stay in bed because you don't really pay attention. So you might come down with a cold, or you might come down with like too much tension in your body, and it's just going to force you to be still eventually. So really pay attention to that. But at the end of the day, it's going to crack you open. It's going to just allow for you to take the next step. Eight of Spring. So this is the dandelion. I'm learning that it's called a dandelion. Stress that comes from having many things happening at once. Successful multitasking, sudden events or changes. So yeah, there is a bit of overload. There is a bit of stress going on here. You seem to be doing quite okay though. Like you're quite okay in the midst of it all, but there is a lot on your plate. It's so interesting because sometimes I'm doing these normal readings, general readings, and the typical love story comes out. And sometimes when I do these love readings, the typical general reading is coming out. It is a bit of love here, though. It's sort of talking about you preparing yourself for something that is not going to happen. Instead, prepare yourself for something you want happen. In the meantime, while you worry a bit, it helps you, allows you to move on up. Like it allows you to actually expand, to actually become more wise, more mature. You're becoming a teacher in the midst of all of this. It's like you're learning as you go. Definitely. Some final advice here for Sagittarius, please. It's quite a different, I just have to say, quite a different reading for Sagittarius. Final advice, please. I mean, choose your battles. So one aspect of this is like it's like you have this feeling of it's too much. It's too much right now. I can't deal. It's too much to take on. Have you seen those faces? They're so big. And from another perspective, like if you look at the person standing there on the ground, they're standing their ground. They're really like, they put their hands on the side and the legs apart. And it's like, I'm going to stand my ground and I'm going to face up to these faces. And I know what I'm doing. I might need a little bit of that because I don't know what's going to come back. But if you only knew how protected you are, if you only knew how you're so surrounded by so much guidance and guardedness, and not guardedness, like guardian angels, like you're so cared for. I'm going to move this into the extended reading and see what I'm going to find there. I have no idea what I'm going to find there. Very interesting. If you feel anything like this is your reading, then come to the extended. The link is in the description box down below. You press a little arrow next to the title and a curtain drops down and there's the link to it. You just press it and it takes you there. If not, thank you so much for listening to this a bit cryptic message today. Bye, Sagittarius.